Well, hello there. Let's make this delicious, chunky Koobi eggplant stew that I know you're going to just love.
Can you smell the aroma? Yeah. From Kwachi West Kitchen. Yeah. Delicious. Yeah. Delicious.
So for my ingredients, I have some pepper and garlic, some Koobi, smoked mackerel, tomatoes, shiitake mushroom, onions, and our eggplants. These are Japanese eggplants. I'm going to cut up my Koobi. This I'm gonna save to throw in some palm nut soup. Just want a little piece in everything. I'm gonna transfer it to my bowl, and then I'm going to rinse it and soak it in water. So just going to let it soak up a little bit to remove some of the salt before we add it into our food. I'm going to dice one onion. That will go in my palm oil just to fry before I add any other thing in it. This other onion I'm just going to dice, add to my tomatoes and peppers and garlic, and blend. So I'm gonna put my pepper and garlic, add my onions, and now I'll just cut up my tomatoes to my blender. I'm leaving the seeds. Totally optional. If you want to deseed it, it's up to you. I'm just not going to add any water and blend it. I'm going to pour some palm oil into my pot. You could definitely use any oil of choice, but palm oil is more authentic. So my oil is hot and my Koobi has soaked for almost an hour. So I believe most of the salt has come out of it. And I'm gonna go ahead and fry that. This, not only is it going to taste good with it fried, but it's going to just transmit some of its fragrance and flavor into the oil to make everything taste good. Koobi perfectly fried now. Actually, transfer it right here. And now say, this is for minimum yo. Nanso, I was some sunshine kachana jumedi and koso. And rest say you ma you better to your sunny aframo. Ready any demo and your buffo. Now I'll put my chopped onions right here in the palm oil. In the palm oil, as our Nigerian friends will say. And yeah, let it caramelize a little bit, do its own magic as well. Let this end up making this stew a delight to everybody's taste buds. Yeah, yeah, flavors, no. Onion beautifully fried now. Smells so good. Now I'll just add in my blended tomatoes, onion, and pepper. Rinse out the blender slightly and add. Cover. So I cut up my eggplants and then I just put it in water to enable it just release some of the salt seeds. And most importantly, because I was not ready, I did not want it to oxidize. So my best bet was to just cut it up and put it in water. Now I'm going to transfer it into my pot to boil. So this is all the eggplant, and I'm going to add some water. This is about 2 cups of water. I'm pretty much steaming this. I don't want too much water in there. To ensure that this doesn't come out bland, I'm going to season with some salt. And I'm just going to stir just to have it all over a little bit, so the salt is not just staying in one spot. Now I'll cover this and bring to a boil. I'm going to season my stew with a little bit of salt. I'm also going to add some shrimp powder. Very generous amount. That's about 2 tablespoons. And that very little amount of salt, because you really have to remember that the Koobi is salty and it's all infused in the oil. Now I'm adding my shiitake mushroom, already washed. Just make sure everything is submerged in your stew, just like that. Very all-natural stew, the very freshest of ingredients. Now cover and give it a chance for the mushroom to cook through. Mushroom beautifully cooked now. I'm going to introduce my mackerel. I'm also going to add the Koobi in here. Now, just there. Cover it and let it simmer through. Let's check on our eggplant. Good. It's Friday. Almost done. I'm just gonna let it cook a little bit more. Add a little bit of the juices, not everything. You don't want this to be watery. Let it simmer. Get all the flavors to work together. Okay, now let's cut up our yam to cook. Hi, baby. Mm-hmm. I'm going to flake in one Maggi shrimp tablet. Notice when I put in the Maggi cube, much later when I felt like the flavors has been built and I could use a little pick-me-up. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't. So I don't put Maggi in as really part of the recipe. It depends on how it tastes, and if I feel like I need it, I add it just like I did now. Our stew at this point is done. I'm going to turn off the flame. We're just going to wait on our yams to cook and we can have some good meal. Ooh. It's perfect. Yam is cooked.
Delicious. 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 Can you smell the aroma? Yeah. From Kwachi West Kitchen. Yeah. Dada. Delicious. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, delicious. Dada. Delicious. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, delicious. Dada. Delicious. Ooh, delicious. Dada. Delicious. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, delicious.
There are few ingredients, but just look at the magic we just created. This was so good, and I really hope you give it a try. Thanks so much for doing this with me. Kindly give me a thumbs up and share. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.